mental health crisis is imminent as the COVID-19 pandemic drives people into isolation, poverty, and anxiety. And as demand for help increases, the crisis has affected critical mental health services in 93% of countries.
Hindi lang ang pisikal na pangangatawan kundi maging ang mental health. Apektado rin ng COVID-19 pandemic. Simula nang magpatupad ng lockdown nitong Marso, dumami raw ang mga tumatawag at nagpapasaklolo sa National Center for Mental Health.
As a student, how did you cope up with your mental health problems during this unprecedented time? Life is unpredictable and beyond our control. No one expected that 2020 would make a big difference and impact the world's economy, education, and lifestyle. But what if I tell you that this is only the start of our journey, and yet there are still many people who are struggling in silence, and I know this includes you. Mental health is crucial in one's effective life. It includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps you decide how to deal with stress, interact with others, and make decisions. However, depression, anxiety, and behavioral disorders are among the leading causes of illness and disability among adolescents. Deterioration of mental health is becoming a serious problem in adolescents. It can affect many areas of teenager life, and teens with poor mental health can struggle with school, grades, decision-making, and health.
When the school was closed, I lost my productiveness to study since I only do it alone. I used to experience headache, back pain, and because I used in front of the gadget, I developed a disease called Bell's palsy, and the doctor said that it is also caused by so much stress.
My experiences was kind of tough because I've been through a lot, and as the COVID-19 outbreak starts, many of us are affected individually, and that includes me. There's no exemption, of course. It is really hard for me when I heard that the schools will be closed because of the threat of the COVID-19 virus. With this new educational setup, I struggle and I am still struggling. I am having a hard time to adjust up until now with this online education. And as this online educational setup continues, because of schools being closed, I started experiencing having multiple breakdowns in just a day, and I barely eat. I lessen my social life, and I just want to spend my time alone in my room, spending my time surfing through the internet, reading, watching animes, watching K-dramas or movies. And I even find it hard to do the things I loved before because of this pandemic and because of this new educational setup.
On the first week of COVID-19 outbreak, I thought we would still go back to school after weeks, but the sad thing was, the president declared that schools will be totally closed. What made me even sad is that I didn't get the chance to say goodbye to my classmates. We had no idea that it will be our last day. Now months have passed. I was already accepting the fact that schools were really closed and that we were not able to go outside the house. I had no choice but to go with the flow, follow what the government said, and continue living my life with all the sudden changes that happened. I was introduced to two different kinds of learning modalities, which are the online and modular. Since I am not privileged enough to take the online mode, I took the modular mode, wherein the school personnel distributed printed modules for us to answer. It was easy at first since I am used to self-studying, but in the middle part of the semester, I realized that the transition from face-to-face to modular was really not my thing, and it's not applicable to me. I got pressured thinking, how can I make this all done? I didn't know what to do, and what makes it even harder for me is the fact that I am not used to asking for other people's help, because I know to myself that I can do it alone, and others also have their tasks to do, so I don't want to bother them. But honestly, I really miss being at school. It is really hard to study at home because you will not be able to sleep early, knowing that you still have activities to finish. I also noticed that I am becoming mentally and emotionally drained. I wasn't even eating properly, getting enough sleep, and that triggered my stress. School closures has brought both positive and negative impact on me. I learned that we should cherish each moment because we will never know if that will be our last day. I also learned that we should accept the fact that we will be needing other people's help, no matter how big or small that help is. Because honestly, we really can't do everything alone, especially now that we are still in pandemic. There are things that needed to be handled and worked on together. Also, change is constant. We just have to accept the fact that everything and everyone can change in just a blink of an eye. Challenges are everywhere. We just have to know what responses we should apply in order to overcome the challenges.
Seeing students every day and early morning half asleep in public utility vehicles is no longer experience for education, and the mode of teaching has changed drastically. Before, homeschooling was only for the selected few, but because of the new normal, the students must stay and study at home. The school must adapt to the distant learning modalities, and some learners choose online classes because of the presence of a teacher giving direct instructions. However, online classes have effects on the students' health. Most often, the learners are stuck in the house and answer self-learning modules, and online classes affects the physical and mental health of young students. Most students live a sedentary lifestyle. They always sleep on the couch and eat. Online class also affects the students' mental health. In fact, there are reported news about suicide related to too much pressure in their studies. Even though online classes may both have a positive and negative effects, and it may be tough for the students to be at home all the time, on the contrary, the learners have built a better and stronger relationship with their friends and family. Mental health is important at every stage of our lives. It encompasses our overall well-being and affects our lives in many ways. But remember, anyone can have a bad day, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad life. And how we respond to it and take care of our mental health are what's important. Without good mental health, we are susceptible to not knowing our full worth and struggling with things that are beyond our control. And when we ignore our mental health, we ignore ourselves. And when we feel better, we do better.